Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? Every Wednesday on the Low Blows Network, the Low Blows team are at hand to break down, analyze, and make fun of all things pro wrestling. Hosted by former pro wrestler Rick Nash. I think the only reasonable thing we can do now is turn John Cena heel.
Selfie with me fucking Doug.
Banned from Nigeria. I will be talking to the government tomorrow morning. YouTube star Corporate King.
This elephant has 4 legs. Joe Russell's 4 legs. Joseph Stalin, if he had 2 more legs.
Bonesaw rips off his shirt, yeah, and it says, "Chuck your law, big dirty trifler."
And the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey.
I want one society, just CM Punk.
So embarrassed. CM Punk.
It's Low Blows.
Congratulations, I think we'll all agree, are in order as we get kicked off here on another edition of Low Blows. Ladies and gentlemen, we said it last week that this is how we wanted to open the show, and if you were there on Saturday, you all know this is how we're opening the show. So let's not beat around the bush. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the brand new OTT Women's Champion, Corporate King.
I know.
Congratulations.
It's a podcast medium, so you can't see it right now. But my shoulders are being weighed down because I got the Low Blows Pool Tag Team title on one shoulder. I've got the OTT Women's title on the other. It's fucking amazing. Thank you so much.
Look, it must have felt amazing going out there on Saturday night and like walking away. You know, a lot of months had gone into that. And
yeah. You know, a lot of, because obviously, you know, I'm the co-OTT Women's Champion. You know, Katie did a little bit as well, but like it really. You know, I'd like to thank myself more than anyone, because at the end of the day, it's all about belief. It's all about being able to motivate yourself to go out there and, you know, watch that match and then take all the credit afterwards. It does take a lot out of you, but I feel like I managed to do a good job of it, and the reward's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Katie, you know what I mean? Seeing all this, you must have felt happy for Keane. On
you know
Saturday night, thinking that he now gets to call himself co-OTT Women's Champion.
That's the boyhood dream fulfilled, isn't it? In the National Stadium. And that's really, when the bell rang, that's all I just wanted to find Keane and, you know, give him the thumbs up.
and obviously for Bam Neely as well.
For Bam Neely, yeah.
Really
do it for Bam Neely.
Did Bam Neely come into your head at all on Saturday?
Legitimately, yes. Legitimately.
That's shocking, like, that should happen.
I went through quite a few ways to calm myself down in the lead up to that match, and one of them was thinking about Bam fucking Neely.
Did you look up any Bam Neely matches?
No.
Like?
You know what I did the night before the stadium? I was like, you know what? I'm real sort of anxious. I can't really focus on it and can't concentrate. I'm going to watch my favourite wrestling matches to get me in the mood, right? And I started off strong. Started off with Nakamura versus Zayn from TakeOver.
Nice.
Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome from One Night Stand.
Solid.
This devolved into me watching New Blood Rising 2000 from WCW, where I watched Judy Bagwell on a pole, where I watched the Young Dragons versus Tree Count in a ladder match, where I immediately start panicking and text LJ to be like, "Don't fucking do it and dangerous." And so that's how Phil found me when he came home Saturday night, fucking 2 hours deep into a WCW pay-per-view, going, "I can't wrestle anymore."
You're just like, this started as motivating and it got weird.
It got weird and worse. Yeah.
No, look, obviously, congratulations are in order. Very emotional night. And that's just for all of us sitting in the crowd watching. How did it feel? Like, talk us through from this time last week until now. Like, what, like, as the week went on, like, were you getting worse and worse in the build-up, or?
I thought I would be, but I was super busy in the build-up between, like, work and training and everything else. Friday I was just excited and I was chatting to people. Sunday got to the venue and literally, I'm not joking, every person came up to me, "You must be real nervous." I'm like, "I know, I'm fine." But when the 17th person says to you, "You must be real nervous," you're like, should I be? Should I be really nervous? Oh my God. But like, just the closer it got, the more anxious you get, you know, because like, you know, they start like putting up the lights. They start like testing all the stuff. Like the fire girls out there doing their fire thing, and like it starts to feel really, really real.
Yeah.
And I was a ball of nerves. I kept it under control till after the match, though.
So you weren't hyperventilating on the floor at any stage?
No, I actually managed to avoid that this time.
Okay,
that was good.
That's always a plus.
That was good.
So talk us through then, like, cause do you know what? Like, I don't know, like, and we can only speak from. I don't know about you, Keane, but like, I can only speak from my own experience. Like thinking, like watching you go out there, like it was like. Wait, did that past few months happen? Like, how did it feel for you as you're going out, your music hits? Like, was it like this is the culmination or something? Or did it just kind of, do you know when you go back to work after being on holidays for ages? Yeah. And then you're back in there like 5 minutes and just having your normal day. And then you're like, oh, it's grand.
Yeah.
How did it feel for you, like, as you're going out, you hear the music hits? Obviously, there was a bit of the snafu at the start. Did that throw you off at all? Like, because the video package didn't play for anyone?
Yeah, because I thought I had 2 minutes.
Right.
So I stand there talking to CT, and then next thing I missed the drop of my own music because like it's real quick. It's like a motorbike rev, and then I'm supposed to come out. Yeah. But like I heard the motorbike rev. I was not behind that curtain. I was down talking, and I was, oh shit, had to leg it up. But like it was making the entrance. It was weird but familiar at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then once the match actually started, I was fine.
Yeah.
Because we got, like, the first big reaction. I was like, okay, this is going to be all right. Yeah. Like, this is getting the reaction I wanted it to, so this will be fine. Yeah. And, like, I was unbelievable in fairness. Like, just 2,000 people there, like, saying welcome back. And you're like, this is what made the last 9 months worth it. Yeah. Like, this is the feeling that made all the hardship worth it.
Nice.
And then I went backstage, and I burst into tears. Yeah. I just bawled crying. And it was like 9 months of stress and anxiety. Because no matter how much you train, like, there's still that thing in you of, can I get through a match?
Of course.
And then you get through it and you're like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, my elbows were fine the next day. Yeah. Everywhere else hurt because wrestling really hurts.
Forgot that.
I had forgotten that part. I was in bits the next day. Right. Like, but my elbows are fine. Yeah. Then my ma was gassed. She was there watching. And she texted me directly after the match, are you okay? Are you okay? No, not really. Can you meet me outside? And I had to go meet my ma outside to tell her I was all right and be like, I'm fine. You need to calm down. I think you should just go. She was fine.
And then, like, of course, but that wasn't it for you. Like this weekend, then, like it was the following day. You had to go back to the scene of the crime. Almost, you're going back to the exact room where that happened, and like. I don't know, have we discussed this on air where you found it difficult to even just be in the room for normal Contender shows? Like throughout your come out, you found it difficult to be there.
That was the first time I'd been in the ringside club since the accident.
Yes, of course. Sorry.
I haven't been able to go to Contenders because I was so freaked out by it all.
I thought you'd been to one, but
No, I hadn't been to any. Like, I haven't been. I went to Homecoming in Tala. And I went to the stadium shows.
That's nuts.
But I hadn't been to the ringside club. I just couldn't. And it was really weird, and I went in and I dropped all my stuff off, and like I was helping put up the ring and stuff, and like it was just bizarre. Yeah. And then when the ring was up, I kind of gingerly climbed up to the top rope and just sat there for a second, and then just went and got back down.
Jesus. But then, like, as the day went on, like, you know, like, how were you feeling then? Because like, on one hand, you're back and you're fine and you have all the reassurances. Your comeback matches happened. You have officially came back now. You're an active wrestler again. But also, like, there's a lot of echoes of what happened because you're in a tag team match with very, it's very similar setup to the match that ended up getting injured in. Was there a lot of parallels there? Was that kind of looming over you? Or was it a case of, you got there, you had that moment, you kind of got over it, and then it's just like business? Yeah,
like it was fine again once we got the match started. Yeah. Until I seen that Debbie got hurt.
Yes, of course. I was getting to that, yeah.
And that was kind of like, oh shit. It brings it back down to reality again. Like, wrestling, we can get hurt, and we do get hurt.
Specifically on dives in that venue.
In that corner.
Jesus.
Yeah, maybe we should stop.
But it's not like they're freak accidents. Like they're independent freak accidents.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts. And have we got an update on the status of how's Debbie doing? I know you're not on great terms now, but just through the grapevine, have we got an update? Like,
well, her social media usage is still high, so it seems like she's fine.
She's fine. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. And thoughts are with her at this time, like as well. But yeah, look, you're back, and now is it weird just being an active wrestler again, like now, and you're just like, all right, I better go get some bookings. And
that was the weird thing. I start getting emails straight away from bookers that I've worked for before and I haven't worked for before, being like, so you're back, yeah? And like, I'll be completely honest, I'm going to take it easy until Christmas.
Okay.
I'm going to do Fight Factory and OTT and one show in Belgium for people that I work for all the time, because I just don't want to leap back into matches every week again. I don't want to be stupid about this. Like, my arms were fine for those 2 matches, but like, I'm wiped today, for example.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, and you need to readjust to that kind of schedule.
Yeah, like obviously you're away for longer than you ever have been before, so like you started to build up a normal routine, like, of being injured. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it now weird, like, trying to think about, like, oh yeah, I lived a different life then?
Yeah, it's it's weird. It's like a year or two halves. Like, now I just have to slip back into the wrestling. Or this is what I was thinking. Okay. My co-champion Keane can maybe step in and take some of the load off my shoulders.
Maybe, sure.
I feel like some kind of training montage.
Yeah, I'm game for this. I'm totally game for
maybe
this.
he can take on some of the load. I don't know.
I'm not fighting alpha female. If that's where we're, that's not happening.
I would pay to see that. Okay, you want to be co-champion? This is what co-champion is.
No, but like I can hold the title if that, like I can I can do the whole sort of there's a role for me here, but like I just feel like it's not when you go back to like fierce females and stuff, like I can say things like come on Katie and stuff like that, but
will you?
Yeah, but I won't I don't need to I don't need to get
I just won't say it about louder on Twitter.
yeah, just sort of in private, kind of like supporting and but I don't want to fight.
Just whisper in her ear, like, come on, yeah. Oh, brilliant. There you go. Well, congratulations, and look, well done. Obviously, a successful comeback. It's what we all wanted. And, look, what we all knew, you put the work in and everything else, so it's great to be on the other side. Great that, you can just chill now and get back to normal. So, congratulations, we're delighted for it. Of course, you ended up having to go get sick then after all of that.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I forgot how hard wrestling is. Sorry, guys. This is why I sound like a sex phone operator again tonight.
Doyle, the Harvey line is it? Let's not go there. That's weird. Anyway, guys, we have a busy show to get to. That was just the start because, our co-host, dramatic return from injury is just one of the many fucking news stories. It's been a mental week. I think this is just what life is now. Guys, Finn Balor turned heel. We have to discuss that. OTT's 5th anniversary and the fine. We have to discuss that. And the fucking Wednesday night wars are still happening. Oh yeah, and Fight Factory's coming up this weekend. It's all go, and we're going to discuss it all. I'm going to have a bit of GM mode to do later on. We're going to preview Fight Factory episode 11 this Sunday in the Sheriff Youth Club. I'm going to be announcing 3 matches as yet that haven't been announced yet, still to come here tonight. But first, we're going to get kicked off, as we always do, with the news stories that have been grabbing our attention from the week, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pick out those stories and to give our lightning hot takes, because it's time for
Hot Takes.
Getting kicked off with Cobra King.
Okay, so my hot take is in relation to something. Well, it's about Paige, right? Yeah, it's about Paige. So on Raw, Paige was in the ring with the Kabuki Warriors, and they fucking spat mist in her face and ended their relationship, I assume, unless they're going to talk things over or, sort things out.
It'd be a weird way to say, I want to continue this working relationship.
Well, no, they could negotiate and sort their problems out backstage or off,
Maybe, yeah.
Outside the stadium, they could be back as good as new the next week. You don't know. I think they'll probably end the relationship, though. But, I only saw this because I saw it on Twitter. I didn't have time to watch Raw this week. I saw it on Twitter with the caption, some fan tweeted out. She said, Fucking Paige has had worse than that on her face before. Am I right? Sorry, lads. I don't mean to like. I don't mean to be like.
Solid impression.
Nina. We're gonna kick the door down now. Gonna take out my imaginary badge, lads. It's the joke police. Put your fucking hands up. Put your hands up, both of you. Put your fucking hands up right now, right? I'm sorry to be the joke police, but these jokes are really shit. Like, you know the ones where it's just like sex. she did the sex, guys. Like. I'm in no. This isn't an offensive thing. I'm not gonna turn around to you and act as if I'm in any position to take any sort of moral high ground and say you can't joke about that. You can't joke about this. I joke about some horrible shit, but like I appreciate a dark joke if it has enough quality to back it up. But these just like. They're just not good. You know what I mean? It's like, and again, I know it's a joke, but like, what really is worse for your face? Semen, which is scientifically proven to be good for your skin, or mist, which fucking blinds you and takes you out of action depending on what color it is. That is, like, it's just bad. It's just really, really, like, I mean, at the end of the day, she got to have sex with, like, what, like Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods? Fair play! Two good-looking young men. You know what I mean? Like, that's why are we even slagging her off about this in 2019? You know what I mean? Like, it's like the jokes are shit. I just think it's pointless. I don't know.
It as well though. Like you know, like most of like if not all of the WWE roster have also had sex.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're all riding each other backstage.
Yeah.
Why is it her that's like? Why even slagging anyone over? Like, it's a good thing. Like would you slag somebody for getting a promotion in work or something? You know what I mean? You're getting lots of money. You bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know. Like, I just think
but also as well, for the record, you're not being like woke here. You're just saying the jokes are shit.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you know, how dare you? But like, it is a bit shit as well. Like, obviously, she like, you know, got upset by it and all, like, and all that as well. Don't get me wrong, but it's mainly just the fact that it's just the quality of the joke is just very, very low.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I don't know. But yeah.
Twitter, you've been arrested. There you go. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to keep this as short and sweet as is possible, which isn't my forte. But anyway, I want to talk about AEW. I'm not going to go into an anti-Cody rant. Don't worry. I'm not going to do my usual. I'm not going to cornet it. But anyway, no. I want to talk about the weird marketing they did. Did anyone see this week? Their weird marketing angle, how they were building up an announcement during the week, and they're like, we have a big announcement, and then they were just like, as they were building up to their announcement, they were like, it's not a video game, it's not a new signing, it's not this, and then the end of it was like, Jacksonville, we're coming back, and then it's just like, oh, that doesn't benefit anyone who doesn't live in Jacksonville, and everyone got mad pissed off. And then Tony Khan like came out and he's like, I guess we'll have to do a bigger announcement just to make up for this. I'll get to work. And it's just like, this is weird marketing, lads. This is weird marketing. And it's so bad. Like, it's like, I'm a marketing guy as well. So that's kind of where this got me, because like, AEW is marketing at the moment. That's all it is. It's 90% marketing. They have a TV show, so now they're building a foundation to work off. But like 90% of it so far is marketing and like proving that they're cooler and alternative and different to WWE, and that's why they should get fans. And then to go out and do this again, it's just a really amateurish move, because it's like you have to train people. Like, marketing is literally training your audience's expectations and, like, training them to, like, respect your announcement. So when you, next time AEW have a big announcement, they're the boy who cried wolf after this. Because it's like, yeah, well, we won't believe it. And they're not going to get buzz. And this is just shooting themselves in the foot for no reason whatsoever. I don't see any one gain from this. Like, even if it's like, yeah, it was a funny troll, it's like, that's like, okay, yeah, now your fan base thinks you're full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see one possible, like, and again, this is something you could see coming ahead of time, where it's like, even if like they accidentally like thrown something out there, or Dave Meltzer had accidentally linked AEW have a big announcement coming up, that like you could anticipate like people are getting very excited about this, and the announcement is Jacksonville. You know what I mean? You can see this coming ahead of time, so they continue to perpetuate it and build the buzz. Just kind of, again, it's one of those things where I'm like, Oh yeah, these lads actually. It just reminded me that they're like, maybe they don't know what they're doing. It's just like, it gives me all the wrong feels. I don't want to shit on AEW because like, I'm getting more and more into their product every single week. Like even BTE this week was really good because they just had exclusive footage from Post Dynamite where like the lads are like just throwing like they started throwing merchandise and they ran out of merchandise to throw into the crowd. So like they started tripping and taking off their own clothes, and Cody was like throwing his tie in, and then MJF ran out and was like, do not throw that tie in, these people don't deserve it, and then eventually like he worked them to and then threw it, and MJF went apeshit, and it's like that looks like a really fun experience to be at, but like this is just shit marketing, and there's no excuse for it because that's all you have. And if you start training your audience to be disappointed by it, that's when you officially become, no offense Katie, WCW. Sorry, but that's ultimately what it is. It's like WCW, yeah, like fucking setting up like Hogan against Goldberg and then ending with or was it Nash against Goldberg, finger poke with Doom? Yeah, setting up that, and then it's like, watch us for this, haha, gotcha, and then it's like, fuck you. That's how your audience feels, and there was no need for any of this. But speaking of saying fuck you to their audience and their fans, let's move on to the one biggest news story of the week in wrestling. Moving on. Harvey's hot take. Back in wrestling a few days and already tackling the big issues. Go for it.
Already to burn a few bridges. Jordan Myles had a new t-shirt out.
I saw something about this.
It was a bit racist.
Yeah.
So basically, it looks like blackface.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, you know, which is not good and not something you can release as merchandise. In 2019, I'm putting out the message: don't release racist merchandise.
Okay, I don't think you're being that controversial.
Is that not a hot take?
No, I feel no. I think a lot of people will agree with you.
A lukewarm take?
You're not gonna get cancelled over this.
Okay, that's fine. What I do have an issue with now, Jordan Myles called it out, as he should. Obviously, he's gone through internal channels to try and get this sorted. The t-shirt has been pulled, but he's outraged at the fact that this was produced and pushed through in the first place. Yeah. And he is completely right to be outraged by that, because it shouldn't in this day and age go that far. You know what I mean? If someone says, that offends me, that has this history and these connotations, don't release that. It shouldn't be released, you know? And when it's pointed out, it should be taken in immediately. WWE, instead of just like holding up their hands and taking the t-shirt off the market quietly, release a statement where they claimed that Jordan Myles had worked in conjunction and approved the t-shirt to go out, and led him to believe that Triple H had approved it and that's the way he wanted him to go out. Why double down on a bad decision? Why draw more attention to this racist thing? Yeah. Like, I just don't understand it. And then Jordan Myles comes back out and it turns out that he didn't approve it at all. He approved it on a white t-shirt. Yeah. He still wasn't happy. He said that it still didn't sit with him right. But he approved the white t-shirt because he was led to believe it's what Triple H wanted, and Triple H is his boss. So like, when there's that kind of power dynamics going on in a business as well, you know, it's just, I think he was right to go public. A lot of people are saying, you know, you need to deal with your shit in-house, but sometimes you can't. And sometimes you need to get a bigger movement going for the bigger picture, because it's not just about a t-shirt. It's what the t-shirt represents. And it represents the fact that in 2019, these kind of things are still happening.
Yeah.
My other issue is then the fans who are just like, well, I don't see anything racist about it, so it's not racist. Well, of course you don't see anything racist about it, because that means you're the racist. like this is the connection. Am I getting cancelled yet, or is this still okay?
No, you're not cancelled.
All right.
Keep going though, by all means.
But you know, like, it's just because, and like, it's mostly like white people who are like, I don't see what the problem is. Well, of course you don't see what the problem is, because you're white. You haven't lived through what they've lived through. You don't have their experiences. You don't have their thoughts on the matter, and their thoughts are more valuable on this matter. So you need to just settle down, accept that the t-shirt shouldn't be out. It's not like you bought it anyway, because let's be honest, it was a crap t-shirt on top of it all. Yeah. Like, there was no thought put into it. So I just...
No, wait. There was. Did anyone see the internal email where the words "more teethy" were used?
Yes, I did see that.
Like, for a second, if you thought about saying that you weren't racist and this wasn't offensive, the words "more teethy," I'm like, no.
So, yeah, I agree. He should have went public. I agree. Like even for that internal email, that should not be on a company email in this day and age. And, like, the fans say it's not racist, you're an issue. But then also Jordan Myles shot himself in the foot a little bit by dragging Jay Lethal and other things into it.
Yeah.
So he's on a really good roll. People are listening to him. People are turning their profile picture. He's getting lots of online support. And then he goes and drags Jay Lethal. And people are just kind of like, okay, now you're just using what clout you've built up for a personal issue, and this has nothing to do with that, and why you're doing it. And then someone pointed out that day Jay Lethal had broke his arm in a show in England and was probably in his hospital bed scrolling, seeing this, being like, what the fuck?
It's like, imagine when you were in hospital. Yeah. Imagine it was just like, thoughts are with Jay Lethal, thoughts are with Jay Lethal, thoughts are, fuck Jay Lethal. I'm like, what? That's my co-worker.
I just felt like there's no need to drag the man. Like, he's in hospital. It's nothing to do with your situation. Like, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on the t-shirt thing. It's not a very hot take. Just don't be racist in 2019. And also pointing out the fact that, but they've got Kofi and they've got the New Day and they've, like, that doesn't make racism okay, or doesn't mean that t-shirt was okay just because they have black people in their roster.
Okay, so I think there's a lot. Okay, you get a lot of white people rationalizing as well, and like you're pointing out there, and like I think where people are coming from, and I get it, is like, if I'm unhappy in my workplace, do you know what I mean? I don't go to social media and I don't start like going crazy and stuff like that. But also I get it because he does have a following, and with that comes power. So I think that's like, he decided to use that. So like, yeah, I get where he's coming from, and like he's at the stage where like they put him in a corner where he'd have to play ball and like go along with the blackface thing, or come out strongly against it because it's out now. Do you know what I mean? But I did enjoy the spectacle of it all, where it was like, and like, to be fair, I've no issue with Jordan Myles. I respect the shit out of him coming out to begin with. You know, you're right in what you say that it went a bit far. I find it a bit amusing that like he came out and was like, you know what I mean, he's getting all this mob going and he's like David Starr in the middle of it, and it's like happening like virally, so he's not expecting it. And all of a sudden everyone in wrestling's talking about him and he's getting excited, and he's like, and by the way, fuck AC or fuck Jay Lethal, right? And then everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to go home. This has gone too far.
I'm just going to put a small disclaimer here. I'm not calling WWE racist. I just want to put that disclaimer there.
All right.
I am just saying that when they're told something is racist, they should consider it racist and pull it.
Yeah, like, look, we're going to bring back an old catchphrase in Low Blows, one of the first catchphrases we ever had. I think it's appropriate here, where, guys, I think it's really clear here that there is no race problem in WWE, okay? No race problem. It's fine. Nothing's gone wrong. It was more TT though, that's bad. That's really bad. Anyway, guys, moving on to the in-ring, the good and the bad from the week. And there's a lot of both to get to. So let's get on to the bad first. Starting with...
Say something stupid.
Say something stupid. Worst moments of the week. First off, in at number 5, I want to talk about After the Bell, the new WWE podcast. Anyone got a chance to give it a bit of a listen yet? No. It's all right. It's all right. It's the Corey Graves thing, where they're coming out and they're like, oh, Corey Graves off the leash. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I wasn't really asking for Corey Graves with or without leash. You know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't asking for more Corey Graves. And we're like, well, they're going to get good guests, so I'll give it a listen. It's fine. It's fine. There were some highs, there were some lows. You know, they had Ric Flair on and they're trying to stop him from getting cancelled. Like, they're dancing around that. That's kind of fun, tense radio. You have Seth Rollins, like, trying to validate, like, his Twitter game from the past few weeks. Like, there's a lot to be said for just being like, yeah, that was a bit weird, right? If he'd have just come out and said that instead of being like, and then at the airport, I got a reply, I got an ad, and she was in my mention, so I said this. And you know when someone starts describing like a tweet, and you just, the more they speak, the more a part of your soul dies. When they're like starting describing a Twitter argument, and then it's like, Triple H's interview was kind of interesting, but for me, the reason it's here, and I'm only putting it at 5 because it was a good enough show, but the reason that I'm putting it here was they undercut themselves straight away in the show, because Corey Graves actually came out at the start and he's like, look lads, I know what you're thinking. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, look lads, I know what you're thinking. It's a WWE podcast, so I'm probably just going to be giving you the WWE line. No, I asked and was given assurances I can say what I want. And there are some really good things in WWE, but let's call a spade a spade. There are some really bad things right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. All right, okay. Are you going to talk about the bad things? And he's like, I have got permission to say what I want and do what I want. Let's see how this goes. This isn't a corporate podcast. This is unfiltered. And I'm like, okay, you're doing a promo, but if you can back this up, I'm in. And then he's like, right, guys, first topic on the agenda. How cool is Crown Jewel going to be this week? And I'm like, no, I'm out. It's like, no, you can't. And like to go from one to the other where it's like, I'm not going to be a corporate shill. But by the way, check out a corporate gig in Saudi Arabia this week with Tyson Fury. What a match that's going to be, right? Two big guys. And it's just like, no, you've lost me already. You've cut your knees off within the first 3 minutes of this fucking podcast. Now, Triple H's interview, he's really loose, really chilled, and he's speaking about things frankly. He's giving the company line for a lot of it. Like, he's trying to make it seem like it's like, oh, well, look, we expected NXT were going to lose in the ratings on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? It's like, this is all part of the plan. But then there was some interesting stuff where it's like he starts talking about, like, he's going to have more deals, where how the Balor thing came about, where he's like, Vince is basically like, I don't have anything for him for the next few months. And Triple H is like, can we just take him and have him help us? And then Triple H is like, well, and Vince is like, yeah, well, we're not going to use him. And he's like, well, we can do some fun shit while you're here. And he's like, there's going to be more of that on NXT. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm kind of liking that. I won't get your way. If you absolutely, for some reason, need more wrestling podcast content in your life, then fine, there you go. It exists. It's fine. But you can't take it seriously, and it's because Corey, within the first few minutes, went from, I'm not going to be a corporate shill, to immediately being a corporate shill. Anyway, in at number 4, surprising to find this in Say Something Stupid. Let's talk about NWA.
So the big double NWA review, it's postponed because it comes out on Tuesday, and I was busy today, so we're a week behind again. But yeah, no, this is just one little thing. The show opened with... is it Joe Galli? Is that his name? I feel like I'm pronouncing it horribly. I feel like that's wrong. But you know the voice of NWA, the main commentator lad?
Yeah.
Really good commentator, right? But he says, he's interviewing Nick Aldis again on this episode, and in the previous episodes, his producers told him to stop being so confrontational and stop asking about Camille and why Camille isn't talking. So what's the first thing he does in that interview then, later on? He's like, Nick Aldis... excuse me for a minute, why isn't Camille talking? And it's like, he's accusing Nick Aldis of like not letting Camille talk, yeah? But it's like, then Camille gets like her chance to speak, and she chooses not to talk, and he's like being like, why aren't you talking? It's like, shut up, right? Not everybody likes interviews, you know what I mean? Not everybody likes this shit. Some people just want to stay quiet and, you know, mind their own business. And he's like trying to drag words over, trying to imply that Nick Aldis isn't letting her speak, even though he clearly did let her speak, and she chose not to. So, I don't know, he's so hell-bent on being this fucking, like, you know, investigative journalist thing, but it's like, just be a commentator, just be I mean, like, I just wanted to know what like Nick Aldis' next opponent was going to be and all that sort of shit, but he's so hell-bent on being like, who's this insurance policy, who's this, who's Camille? It's like, just leave Camille alone, right? Just for a minute, just do your, I don't know. Yeah.
Is he a bit of a white knight? Is he a bit of like, you know what I mean? There's sexism happening here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And she's like, I'm actually fine. And she's like, your boyfriend's mistreating you. He's not.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And it's like, I know, because I'm a man.
Like, Camille, you can sit at the commentary desk with me if you want. It's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, this is it. I just want to be your friend. It's like, you're in the friend zone. Chill the fuck out. Anyway, look, in at number 3. Interesting segue from saying... stick to being a commentator. Let's talk about OTT. I have a lot of good things to say about OTT, and don't worry, that's still coming. We're going to talk about the 5th anniversary. I have a lot to say, and they're all complimentary. And look, until last night, that was it. That was all I was going to talk about OTT, but then they released the VOD, which was, like, again, credit where it's due. Like, they got it out in 2 days. That's seriously impressive time for an independent company and their resources. So there's a lot of people upset, and a lot of debate going back and forth on Twitter about Engo at the end of the David Starr Jordan Devlin match, when like he just as David Starr was being carried through the crowd, Engo turns around and basically says, David Starr being carried around by his army of incels. And then it's just like, okay, I was not a fan of this, all right? For a few reasons. Now, here's the thing, okay. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I have gone on record in Low Blows and say, Ango, not a fan personally. That's just my personal opinion. Not a big fan of the guy. But, like, also, for the record, objectively, he's a really good commentator. And literally last week on the show, I was singing his praises for his performance in the David Starr interview. So I'm not, like, having a go here. But it is a talking point in Irish wrestling, and I do want to address it and pick out a side. I thought this was a bit shit, and there was no need for it. And to be honest, what I didn't like about it was I felt that he went into business for himself at this stage. There was no reason for him to take... Right, okay, I get that he's in Team Jordan Devlin. You know what I mean? He's in his corner, and that's the gimmick that they're rolling with as well. But nobody who's invested in this feud is going, but whose side is Engo on? Nobody is... That's not an aspect of the feud. It can be used to get over David Starr a bit more in a promo beforehand, but the VOD is kind of separate. Like, he's a background noise to the actual match itself, you know what I mean? And he can take a side for the purpose of putting heat on David Starr or this or that, but to me, there hadn't been any build-up in the match. Tony had said a couple of times where he's like, you know, Engo, you stay professional here, you stay professional. But they had stayed professional, and they had called it objectively. And they called it objectively literally up to that moment. Like, Engo was being professional. You could tell he was true gritted teeth, where he's like, David Starr's the new champion, blah, 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 blah. And then this dig just came out of nowhere, and that's what it looked like. That's what it felt like listening to it. To me, like, and you commentated before as well. I don't know, like, I tried to go into it, and Engo's a much better commentator, by the way. I'm not comparing in any way. Like, I'll say, than me, like, I'm not saying about you, but, like, than me, like, I'm not trying to lecture him on commentary, but the way I go into it is like, I'm not me during this. I am the voice of this match that's translating it to the fans. I don't matter. I'm not a character in this. The only time I'd even think about it is if I'm, say, commentating for Fight Factory and it's a Project Next Gen match, and the fact that I'm the GM and I handpicked these guys, and if that can get them over a bit more. Otherwise, I'm just a voice transcribing the story of the match. For me, this was just like, it came across as a dig. It was unnecessary. Had Tony said it, I think it would have been fine, because that's Tony's gimmick. He rips into the fans. Engo doesn't have this history as well. And I think where the problem is here is that, as well, kind of both on screen and in social media and whatnot, Engo will kind of portray himself as the voice of OTT. Like, for example, when they're talking about title shots, sometimes he'll be like, well, we'll get talking about if you deserve a title match in this. And it's like, oh, well, Engo must be part of the, you know, decision-making process or something like that. But Engo is very much Mr. OTT. He's the guy who introduces the show. So what happens is it comes across as as Mr. OTT thinks that their fans are incels. Because who is he calling incels here? Because by the end of that, 90% of the crowd were celebrating. So he's calling 90% of the 2,000 people that filled that venue incels. And what's an incel, by the way? If you don't know what that is, and a lot of people don't, it's an involuntary celibate. It's like someone who basically can't get the ride, and it's not by choice, because they're rotten-looking bastards. Like, if you look up Urban Dictionary, it's really insulting when you look up what it actually means. But it can be a funny insult at times. I didn't like it because, again, it's just kind of like, for the sake of getting a little dig in there, for the sake of, like, being, like, it's insulting the fans from the perspective of OTT are now insulting the fans. And it's the last thing they need, because, like, it's been a dicey few weeks in wrestling Twitter. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people have been getting cancelled, and it's just a case of, even last week, okay? Now, we can talk about this because it was out there on Twitter. Like, OTT's cameraman got absolutely bitch-slapped verbally by Joey Janela. And it's like, there's no need to bring that attention, because these people are representing OTT in a way, and like, for all the hard work that goes into a stadium show, to just throw a comment out there like that, or to just like the cameraman as well, just going out there and like laying into other wrestlers that perform on shows and shows like OTT, to do this as well, it's just, it brings heat on OTT where there doesn't need to be. And it's just like, you're not a big enough part of the show to do that. You know what I mean? You're an auxiliary player who's no doubt important, but you're an auxiliary player. There's no need to lump that heat on OTT because you're then taking away from all the good work and all the goodwill they've built up. You're just saying, do you know what? We'll take that goodwill, and at the very end of the show, one of the last moments is a big fuck you. I think you're all stupid, ugly wrestling fans. Do you know what I mean? From a guy who's supposed to be a babyface commentator. Like, if Tony said it, there's no problem. That's his shtick. He slags the fans. But it was just so out of place. It was unnecessary, and I personally wasn't a fan of it. So that's just me. I don't know.
I don't like the word because I just googled it and it is quite harsh. But I disagree about what you said about Engo and taking it personally, because I think he's so vocally an OTT person. I think it actually lends to the match that he's taken it so personally about David Starr coming in and stomping all over Jordan.
Had there been a preamble to that, had that been a story within the match and the commentary itself?
Has it not been though?
There was bits where Tony was like, be professional. Do you know what I mean? But
even like the interview with David Starr, like, it was very obvious he was taking it personally.
If it had been part of the story, I'd have gone with it. Do you know what I mean? I get what you're saying. And if it had been like, Engo was like, these people sicken me, but they didn't build to that. There was no build to it, so it just came as a bit of a dig.
Yeah, I think if you'd use a different word there,
like
that word was too harsh. I get that. It was too harsh to jump from where he was to where you are, but I do think it has been part of the story that...
It most definitely has, but I don't think it was there. To me, it just came out of the blue. It was really out of the blue because he's like, well, David Starr's our champion. This is the way it is going forward. And by the way, fuck all yous. It's just like, what? Why? Fuck all yous. These are fucking virgins. It's just like, what? It just was so out of the blue. That it's like, oh my God, this is one of the best moments in OTT history. And then the commentators just after committing a massive flub and saying, fuck the audience. I hate them all. And then it's just like, when you consider as well that it's like, if it was 50-50 or if it was like 20 people or something like that, if it was a minority, you'd be like, oh, look at them pricks. But it's not. It's your entire audience. It's everyone who's sold out the stadium for you, and you just said, fuck all yous. From Mr. OTT, signing off. Till next time, this has been OTT. You know what I mean? It's just like, that was my problem with it. And that's why it got the reaction it was. Do you think if Tony called them an army of incels, if Tony used that line, do you think anyone even blinks? They go, ha, we're all incels. Ha, 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 fuck you don't wear socks. You know, that'd be the reaction on Twitter. But because it came so out of the blue that everyone's like, what the fuck, dude? Is this what you think? You know what I mean? There's no build to it. That's just why I found it egregious. Again, I think Engo's a brilliant commentator. I think this was just a fuck up. You know what I mean? I gave him credit. Last week on the show, I came out and gave him credit. I get what you're saying, but it was misjudged to me. It was ill-timed.
Yeah, the word was misjudged.
Fair enough. We'll move on anyway to number 2. Let's talk, speaking of misjudgments, speaking of difficult commentators, running team here this week. Let's talk about AEW.
Yeah, this is a nice segue because I'm going to give out shit about JR again.
Don't you just hate those difficult commentators?
Oh, they're the worst. So there was a match. There was Dr. Britt Baker against Jamie Hayter. It's important to get the doctor in there. It's like the Justy mention. It has to go in alongside her name. Doctor. And I watched her entrance video this week as well, by the way. I hadn't seen it yet. When the face appeared in the little dental mirror, I lost it. Absolutely lost it. And then some guy had a sign of the crowd just saying, "Hail Doctor," and like loads of little teeth. And I was like, that's a real serial killer sign. Like, "Hail to the Doctor. I'm going to like collect her teeth or something." Yeah. It was a bit weird. Yeah. Anyway, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker. This is really good. Jamie Hayter is one of the best female wrestlers in the world. If you haven't watched her, watch her. She works a lot for Stardom. She's really, really good. She is slightly bigger than Britt Baker. And I don't mean heavier, fatter, anything like that. I mean she is a couple of inches taller and naturally slightly bigger person. JR spent the whole match hammering home about size advantage, strength advantage. Oh, I didn't think she'd be able to move that quick because she's got so much weight on her. Oh. All this sort of shit. And I mean, like, the girl is a fraction bigger. You know what I mean? You know, like in 99% of situations where you take two random people and one is always just a bit bigger than the other because that's how bodies work, because no two bodies are the same. Yeah. And he spent the whole match hammering home about like this strength advantage and this size advantage. And you're watching the match like, what are you talking about? Like, and like, Jamie Hayter, yeah, she uses a lot of suplexes and stuff. She's not like the great Khali out there wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, she's not slow stepping around the ring and like slapping people in the forehead. And it's just like,
just did a hurricane, dude. Just did a hurricane.
Can no one pull him aside and be like, you are insulting, you are blind, you are doing a disservice to the product? Because I'm not even like watching the match 100% now because I'm listening out for your shit.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to turn down the commentary. And I like the other two commentators. I want to hear what they have to say, not your fucking misogynistic bullshit.
No, it's true. And like, it's just, do you think there's an issue?
What,
He's
kid?
getting angry.
Yeah, no, all that positivity you built up. What do you think about JR? As well, though, like, do you think that, I don't know, there's part of me that gets a bit of a feeling off AEW, like, a bit like WCW vibes, where it's like, there's some lads who just get to do what they want. And they aren't just pulled back because they're like, we've got Jericho. Let him do what the fuck he wants. Lose the belt, fuck it. It's grand. It'll be funny. JR, like, yeah, it just feels like no one's pulling them aside. Because even remember, I know we disagreed on that, but do you remember a few weeks ago where I was like, it's weird having JR, like commentate on a trans woman, and it's just like, you just feel like at any stage, it's going to go off the rails. And like, but yeah, there's that sense that no one is reeling him in.
JR is there for his name value, not for what he actually brings to the show.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why there's two other commentators to like drown him out. But they just need to tell him to stop now. Like, before he actually ruins himself.
Yeah.
Because I was a fan of JR up until 2 or 3 years ago, like, until I started hearing this and hearing like all this stuff, you know, and now I'm just like, no, I don't want to listen to you. Get off my TV.
It's an interesting kind of thing that we're kind of hitting on here, where how important commentators are in kind of like setting the tone for your show, because as much goodwill as you can build up, this could tear AEW down. This could just knock a few notches off by, like, if JR comes out with the wrong thing, which, like, he is at the line already. If he comes out with the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's just like he could just come out and say something racist, and then it's like, well, AEW are shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to cancel AEW because of JR.
No, it's not that. It's not that, but it's like it's an interesting point of how, like, we don't tend to think about commentators as that important, but they are. They're like, there's high stakes there when they're on the mic, and like, if you have someone like JR who's like liable to say anything at any second and clearly does not give a fuck, like, not that he doesn't give a fuck, but like, there's JR when he's working for Vince McMahon. And he's just like, you know, he is docile as fuck whenever he was working for WWE in the past few years. Because there's that fear, but it's not there with AEW. And you can tell it with some of the stuff he's coming out and saying. In at number one, though, fuck me, we're going for a clean sweep of commentators. Jerry the King Lawler was hosting a special divorce court this week. It was the main event of Raw. Did you not see this?
No, and I'm glad.
Oh, my God. Oh, there's so much, and this could only be the number one thing on Raw. I'm convinced that they now have this as a segment. There's part of me that with this storyline is starting to get a conspiracy theory in my head that Paul Heyman has been paid off by Tony Khan to write this shit and put it in the main event of Raw. Have you seen any of this divorce court or clips or anything?
A tiny bit.
It's mad how they think this is, like, there's so much wrong. So they're like, Rusev and Lana are going to be here and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And then, like, first off, Rusev comes out smiling his whole off, by the way. Why? What's going on here? Why is Rusev smiling? Why is he coming out waving to the crowd? Like, first off, that's never been Rusev. That's not normal Rusev. That's not in any way. We've never seen this guy before. And this is the worst moment of his life. Why is he happy? And then also as well, another little thing. Rusev doesn't know how to wear a suit. I'm a big Rusev guy. I loved watching him on Total Divas. And he's charismatic as fuck. And he's a great wrestler as well. But he doesn't know how to wear a suit. So, like, the way he had it is he had, like, a checked kind of jacket. If we had Scott still on the show, this would be a definitely Scotty fashion down. He had, like, a check jacket and a matching check waistcoat, but then his shirt matched with his slacks. Like, that's not how suits work. The shirt needs to match with the top and the waistcoat, and then the slacks need to match with the top and the waistcoat, and the shirt can be different.
What's he talking about?
Right. So, when someone dies or when someone gets married, oh man, imagine Keenan in a suit. That'd be
I can't.
so weird.
Well, if he's co-champion, he's going to have to get one.
GM mode. We need a dress code for our commentators at Fight Factory. They have to wear a suit. We need to take it seriously.
I wear jeans at formal occasions. That's literally my like wrestling shows are my formal occasions, and jeans are my formal wear. If I have to leave the house for something, that's already a formal occasion. So these things they're not more formal.
You consider leaving your house a formal occasion?
Yeah, because like I'd rather just, you know what I mean. I don't leave my house to go to wrestling shows, and that's pretty formal. You know what I mean? Like what's more important, right? A wedding or a funeral, all that boring shit. Or OTT 50th anniversary.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's
much more formal, in my opinion.
This was so bad, and then Lana came out and they did a promo. Now, do you remember a few weeks ago we were talking about Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon and how the storyline made Kevin Owens look a bit like a bitch because you had to beg Shane McMahon to not find him and all this stuff, and it's a weird thing WWE has got into where it's just faces now begging heels. So Lana came out and Rusev's like, baby, I still love you. I want to get back together. It's like she's literally riding your coworker on telly in front of you. Do you know what I mean? Why would you think we'd support this guy? Who was thinking that? That it's this is a guy we should get behind. This is a character that deserves our sympathy and support. At that stage, if that was your mate, you'd be like, cop on. No, sorry, you're not allowed to rant to me anymore. You're not allowed to moan to me. We're not going for points until you cop yourself on. And remember, you have a fucking ball sack at this stage. It was so bad. He's begging for her back. And then Lana turns around and goes, Rusev, you're a sex addict. And it's literally like the Paige joke. It's like WWE, their writing team are the people writing the Paige jokes, and they're like, sex. It's there's no...
He did the sex.
I don't like all the sex talk in my restaurant.
And it's why is that? Why is that an excuse? I had to have sex with your colleague because all you wanted to do was have sex. It's not logical. It makes no sense. And then, at the end of it all, again, Bobby Lashley comes out and, runs down to make the save, and then I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is going to be, and Rusev just pummels him and beats the shit out of him. I'm like, Rusev just looks like an absolute bitch there for a second, and then Lana gives him a low blow, and then Lashley and Lana stand over Rusev kissing while he's on the ground, and all you hear, I shit you not, this happened, go back and watch it if you don't believe me, the end of Raw is them kissing in the ring over Rusev's prone body, and you can hear a fan shout, this is weird. And you know what? They were fucking right. It was awful. Anyway, guys, I need to get talking about something positive. I need to get a bit more positive. So let's talk about the good from the week because it's time for... This is awesome. Best moments of the week. In at number 5, one from Raw. Okay, there was some good things on Raw. Not a lot of them, but there was some good. Ricochet's RKO bump is fantastic. He does a full-on face bump, and he goes horizontally. He goes straight down. It's fantastic. It's work out of your way to catch the gift for that. Rollins and Rowan had a really good... Tell me you saw this.
I saw the ending, which is complete bollocks. Rowan got fucked over, but you know what? It's fine. It's a bit of fun, I suppose.
So the ending was the old typical kind of they put an obstacle on top of them, so they put forklift thing with a...
Were you struggling to remember the word forklift?
I was in work all day. The forklift and a pallet on top of them, and then Rollins just stood on top of them.
That's not a pin. There's something in between you and your opponent.
He didn't get his shoulders up, did he?
But Rollins wasn't on him.
You can't change. He was on him.
No, but he wasn't because there was something else on him. Do you know what I mean? That's... It's bullshit. That's all I'm saying.
It was one of Rowan's best matches, though. He was class in this match. Literally, he just lifts Rollins up for fun. He does power bombs from nothing. He doesn't do the intro to a power bomb. He just squats a person up to his shoulders and then just says, "Fuck it, I'm doing it." He's
such a tank, man. Where did they fight? I heard they fought around the arena.
It was a Falls Count Anywhere match, so it was a preview of Rollins against Bray.
Oh.
And I think the finish is going to be a preview of it, where because I don't think Bray's winning the belt, and now the match can't be stopped for any reason.
I think Bray's winning.
You reckon?
Yeah.
At Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Where no one's watching.
There's just loads watching. People say they're not going to watch, but they will. Like,
Yeah, I'm going to watch.
yeah, so am I.
Can't believe they bought you that easily.
I'm not saying I'm going to be proud of it, like, but like.
Yeah, the Fiend versus Rollins. I'm watching that. That's deadly match.
I do want to see what happens. Like, even if it's shit, I still want to see what happens. This is how they get you. This is how they get you. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be really shit. Like, and I need to see which one it is. Also, as well, something really good. AJ Styles wrestled Humberto. Really good match. Great your way. I'm really big fan of what they do with Humberto. There's not much more to say. It was just good. Those bits were good, but it was built around. There was a 3-hour show, and those bits took around 25 minutes of it. So then there was the rest. Raw wasn't great this week, and they are struggling. Now, I'm not going to get into WWE is dying. It's that time of year. Raw isn't great. It happens. And I actually forgot SmackDown existed last week. I legitimately, like, it was Sunday morning. I'm like, oh, fucking SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it was an OTT weekend. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's thinking of SmackDown Saturday morning. Like,
That's fair, to be fair. Well, we were thinking about OTT a lot. And speaking of an OTT weekender, first off, let's get talking about OTT Defiant.
Yeah, Defiant happened, and it was really good. There was only 6 matches. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it in all honesty. It was all just really good. Like, Amy Alonzi against Ginny opened it, and Amy Alonzi is like, I know we do like awards or something like that. I forget what's it called?
Blowies.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's the name of the show, like.
No.
And in the way every award show calls himself.
Yeah. So isn't there like a breakout of the year or improved of the year or something like that? And for me, like, Amy Alonzi is like one of the most improved of the year. So like that was cool. Nina Samuels and Isla Dawn, like, that completely, like, kind of, like, it's one of those matches that I wasn't really thinking of at any point over the weekend, because it's like the anniversary show was happening, Devlin Star and stuff like that was happening. I wasn't even thinking, and like, again, there was no storylines going into this. It was just 2 wrestlers that are like pretty good, but I just, you know what I mean, I just wasn't thinking of it. So when it happened, I was like, oh shit, like, this is actually deadly. My brain's gone blank. What else? There was Raven Creed and Sami fucking Zayn, man. That match was deadly.
They just click, don't they?
Oh man, I want to see the trilogy. I want to see part 3. And Sami Zayn is someone, like, I'm not one of these people who chants please come back at fucking everyone. There's only some imports I want to see constantly back, like Omari, OJMO maybe. But I'd put Sami Zayn in that category. I'd love to see Sami Zayn as like a regular.
Have we ever seen, I know you have been in the same ring at the first Defiant. Have you ever seen a one-on-one Katie Harvey Sami Zayn match?
No, we've done a 4-way and a triple threat.
Right, okay. That's a very interesting one, because like that was the co-main event, right?
Who did Sami? Yeah, it was, yeah.
And we have a new OTT Women's Champion. It's a fresh match. I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Who did Sami beat for the title when she was that you?
It was vacant.
So
was it vacant?
It was
vacant.
No, you were in the match.
Yeah, but I wasn't the champion at the time.
Yeah, but like, no, Martina was the champion.
Was she?
Like, this is your life.
I'm so curious.
It was a triple threat, wasn't it? And
no,
then
it was a 4-way, so Defiant had qualifying
four
matches.
qualifying matches.
Oh, Martina was the champion.
Yeah, she got eliminated 3rd or something. Oh, she was last.
To her.
Yeah, and everyone thought you should have been saying, this is your life. You were in this match.
This was my comeback match from a previous injury.
Oh, and you lost. Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's Defiant is bad luck. Every time it seems to be Defiant, I'm making a fucking return from injury.
Oh, very good.
Mad.
But yeah, like, actually, like, small note as well, like, Katie's not and say something stupid. Is this your, like, being nice to her because she's coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely thought I would have been for Defiant. Thanks, Kane.
I was ready for the what was it? Just for the lack of 6:30. I thought you weren't doing it, in the stadium show because you were going to wait for like the big contenders, 1080 splash, elbow drop, return.
1080.
Yeah, but it just didn't happen.
We need to talk about this. We both think you bottled it.
Yeah, you did bottle it.
Oh, I did bottle it. Yeah.
I
did bottle it.
Like. But like we were saying, and this is a true story. Like, all day Saturday, we were like, "What are the odds it's going to happen 2 matches in a row? What are the odds?" Like, you were never more safe to do like, a 6:30, 1080 splash off the top.
I'm just saying, after Giselle Shaw did her dive and there was a free spot on the turnbuckle, I was looking up at the turnbuckle and I was like,
No!
I was looking back at Katie. I was looking at the turnbuckle, looking back at Katie. I was like, go on.
What
and
are
they
the
didn't
odds?
do it.
I couldn't have. I would have climbed up and I would have hyperventilated and got sick on them.
Imagine everyone's just like, oh my god, she's doing it again. Back where it all. Oh wait, she's puking. She's puking.
That is 100% what would have happened.
That match was actually, I really enjoyed that match. But I remember one part of the match where Debbie got hurt. I remember looking over and like nobody said anything at the start. I looked over and I was like, why is Debbie Cottell wiping off her makeup? Like Jade must have worked really hard on that. She's just wiping it off. And I was,
really disrespectful.
I looked over. She had like a tissue and had all red on it, and she was like putting it down. I was like, oh, that's kind of. And someone said something about her eye. I was like, what? Oh, it's swollen. It's blood. It's all blood. I thought it was
It's a massacre.
I thought it was because it was only down the half of her face that had the makeup on it. So I was like, oh, I thought it was part of like the paint or whatever. It was full on blood. I was like,
yeah. And I didn't see how it happened, so she rolled back in to wrestle me, and I just looked and went, what the fuck? What happened? And we just kept going with the match, and I hit her a glam slam, a gory bomb, a flatliner, which are all vicious face bumps.
Yeah, see, all of your offenses.
All of my offenses.
That's a really good strategy. And then she lost. Then Katie lost. And I was
they tricked me. Is that a good defense?
No, it's not good. You're a champion. You're meant to see past that shit.
Like, one of them had one eye.
Yeah.
You were wrestling a tag team that had 3 eyes combined.
And you lost.
We had 4 eyes combined.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, exactly. And you were fighting a team that only had 3, and you lost.
It was a mistake.
I even looked at you after you lost. I was like, what the fuck?
I know. It's all I could see. I was like, oh, no.
Question, actually, now that you're the OTT Women's Champ, have you got a list?
Is Alison Kay on it?
Yes.
Yes, Daddy. Co-women's champion.
That's
she's
not
on it.
an announcement, like.
Yeah, well, she is. Well, you have to.
How would you feel being co-women's champion against Alison Kay?
I would. That's actually good. Well, yeah. Ever see the finger poke of doom?
Who else? Is anyone else on your list? Like, have you got one? Or
Yeah, I do. I have Jeddah.
Oh,
that's actually a deadly match, in fairness.
Rhea O'Reilly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Mercedes Martinez.
This is a deadly list. Fuck, man.
Ginny. I've never done a singles match with her.
Oh, nice.
I've only ever done tag and multi-man.
Well, like, that's very likely, surely.
Nina Samuels. Love. Want to do singles match with Emi Sakura as well.
Oh, deadly.
Yeah, that's my list.
Exciting.
And Alison Kay.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's a list. That's a
And my good
list.
friend Melina texted me after I made my comeback to say she hopes we get to wrestle soon.
Oh my god, yeah.
Melina.
Melina's the best. She's my best
I
friend.
think Corver King needs to be special referee.
As if I wouldn't
The co-women's
betray
champ. No,
Katie.
but you're losing your title then.
Yeah, but it's for Melina.
Versus
so it's
your
all right.
best friend in the world, Melina.
I did it for Melina.
Melina and Alison Kay are the 2 people where I'd be like, fuck the title. 1, 2, 3.
Amazing. Good stuff. In at number 3, let's talk about the good from AEW.
Oh, yeah, there was lots of good. I will say it's very tag match heavy recently. I know it's because of the tournament, but one thing I like is they're having matches between the people who didn't progress in the tournament to establish like who's in title contention. Yeah. I really like that. And even when they put the names up, they put up like their tag team wins and then their singles wins as well, which I think is a really nice touch.
Yeah.
One thing I loved from this week was the brawl. Like, okay, I'll admit, I hadn't watched any wrestling today, and I was like, I can watch one show on my lunch break. What'll I watch? Rick said AEW, because there's a brawl. I turned that brawl on, and I lost my shit in the work canteen. And I lost my shit because Cody Rhodes was cutting a promo, and like the Inner Circle are in a box, like up in the crowd, and they just have air horns. And every time he tries to talk, air horn. You know, like that old Jackass skit where they're on the golf course and every time they try to tee off. And like, it's just so annoying. And then Cody's cutting this fire promo about how like he's just going to come up there and kick their asses. And they're like, oh, there's only one of you. Then Dustin Rhodes comes down. And then MJF comes down. And then DDP comes down. And that is where I lost my shit. Because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, oh, like who else is going to come out? Like, and it's like, his music hits, and I was just like, of course it's him. Who else would it be? This is amazing.
That's the thing. It's like, it felt like it was so random and it didn't like fit anything they built up, but it was so perfect too.
So perfect.
It's like, that makes sense.
You know, because they have a history. He's been in Cody's Talking Heads talking about like his connection with the Rhodes family and stuff, and like perfect. He can still go. He has that thing with Chris Jericho as well, where he like, you know, got him into his yoga, all that blah blah blah. Like it was perfect. And then they just start brawling, and it was like a proper brawl where like they were just swinging bins and crutches at each other and like smash. Oh, I just loved it. One thing I didn't like, Cody made a dig about like this wouldn't happen at the other company. Yeah, Cody, we know it wouldn't happen. You don't have to point that out to us, like, because you're pulling us out at the moment. Like, just go do the cool thing instead of telling us, look at the cool thing we're doing.
What I love is how that pops everyone in the crowd, no matter what.
Yeah,
it could literally be in the middle of like the Lucha Bros versus fucking whoever. Like, it could be the most random match ever, and someone will say WWE, and the whole fans would be like, "Oh, it's like." I mean, at home I'd say everybody's like, "Oh, okay, whatever," but in the crowd they're like, "Whoa."
It's literally the I didn't do it. It's like, say the line.
It was so good, and like now it's led to, I don't know if you've seen the announcement today about how they're going to judge the match at the next pay-per-view. So it's a 60-minute time limit draw, and they're going to have 3 judges, like boxing. So if it hits the draw, the 3 judges are going to vote on who wins the match. So there's definitely going to be a winner coming out of it.
Do you think we'll have like special judges? Like, who would they be?
Now, someone said Terry Funk, and I lost my shit all over again. I think they could go with old timers like that.
Good,
surely they will. Surely, like, because you're not even asking for that much from them either. Do you know what I mean? It's just like sit there and have a card with you. You know what I mean? Like,
now, I said it to Phil, and he's like, this is a shit idea. And I was like, I think it's cool and different. And he was like, this means you have to sit through a 60-minute match. Oh yeah, good point.
I don't know if it's going to come up, because AEW are mad for their win-loss records and their legitimacy and stuff like that. So like they might go like 40 minutes. Actually, I really hope Cody Jericho doesn't go 40 minutes. Keep it a nice clean 20 with like loads of interference.
Yeah,
and
well,
stuff.
that's what I was thinking. Whoever the judges are, I think there'll be shenanigans. I don't think it'll go 60 minutes either.
Yeah.
And I think we'll know, judging by what time it comes on at in the pay-per-view, whether it's going 60 minutes or not.
Yeah, because they can't go long.
Yeah. But the other thing I love to do at the time limit draw was the main event from this week. So literally, Pac and John Moxley are wrestling, and then they just stop the match because they're like, TV time is up.
I love that.
Yeah, and they're just like, you're done.
TV time limit remaining. Yeah.
Because it's like, when I was younger, I used to always wonder why does every match conveniently end before before the TV? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
And this is so good because they just built the match up to a really good point, and now I really want to see it again. And no one's had to lose, but I'm dying for a rematch.
Yeah.
I just thought it's really clever. It's another little touch that I love.
Yeah, no, 100%. What I loved as well, the brawl in particular, right? Because we do see that stuff in WWE all the time. We do see backstage brawls. They did one, Rollins and Rowan, which, by the way, I think partly was like, no, we can do a brawl too. And it was like, but the difference between this and WWE was they let the guys kind of go off the cuff a bit, and that's what made it fun. Like little smart things, like do you remember the air horns was great, and then they hide in the room. They just like Cody and all are like, we're gonna get you, and Jericho and the lads just go into a room and lock the door, and they're like, ha! And then Cody grabs MJF's scarf and then just punches in the.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
The little touches, like, and then with Jericho even being charismatic, like, and taunting the lads outside, and then like even the backstage. I don't know how much of this would have been on TV. So if you're watching on Fight TV, they had an extended version of this where Jericho was just like pissed off and trying to get the lads kicked out. Like, did you get
I see that. Yeah,
like that whole side of it was class.
He kept waving his ticket, being like, "I've got a ticket," which he's now made into a T-shirt.
Of course he has. So JR made that thing about the dig he had to Seth Rollins. Maybe he'll be over as his girlfriend. That's now a T-shirt.
That's awful.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Terrible merchandise.
Yeah, actually, yeah. How do we not discuss that when we're discussing JR? That's a stupid, not 2019 friendly comment. Because the entire joke is based on like, haha, you're not as good as a girl. It's literally, that's the joke. Like,
that is atrocious.
Yeah.
Actually, just talking to Cody, I forgot to mention this and say something stupid. Did you see Brandy's run-in? No. So, Jamie Hayter's doing a backstage interview, and Brandy Rhodes does a run in, and I mean literally, she runs in frame, pushes her over, and then that's it, like just pushes her over, and then the announcer is like, "Why did you do that, Brandy?" And she just, now you can't see me at home, podcast people, but I'm pointing one finger, and she just goes up to her face and points her finger and shakes angrily, and then says nothing and walks off, and that's the entire thing.
A question though, like, why is Brandy? That's the question.
I think she's going into the women's division.
Oh,
because
no, don't say things.
She did a lot of tours with Stardom and stuff, and she'd be familiar with wrestling.
Is she on your list?
Yeah. If she'd like to wrestle me on AEW, yes, she's on
there. There you go. That's your negotiation. That's fair enough.
But I just don't know what else this would be for. Like, if she separated herself from Cody and was like, "Look, I'm not doing that anymore," so like, going into the women's division.
I don't mind her like on all the extra AEW stuff. Like, it still does have that feel. She still does has to earn her place on TV for me, like as an actual competitor. I don't actually mind her as Cody's valet either, because I'm like, yeah, like there you're actually quite good and quite entertaining and charismatic. And I believe her as like a businesswoman type. Like, I've actually got into that. Like, do you know what I mean? But then like trying to as a wrestler, I'm just like,
what about like the AEW Dark division? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or some other, I don't, yeah. The Being the Elite division.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of divisions that she could, enter. That would be different.
But look up the run in, it's gas.
Yeah,
it is literally just running in and pushing her over. And she's just wrestled a 15-minute match, and she gets knocked over by Brandy Rhodes. Just
yeah, because she's tired.
Okay.
AEW was good this week, but it did not win the Wednesday Night War. Well, it did in the ratings, but like it didn't win it for us. And in terms of getting people talking, in at number 2, and this would be one most weeks because this was fucking class.
Mad, right? Yeah, NXT. The last segment of NXT. Undisputed Era are in the ring. I can't remember why. It was a week ago, but they were in the ring.
They just won a match. One of them had won a match.
Yeah, well, yeah. And they were in the ring, and then out comes Tommaso Ciampa to confront them. Tommaso Ciampa, it's 1 against 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's facing them down, and you're like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Music hits, Johnny Gargano runs down, and now it's 4 against 2, and you're like, it's still 4 against 2, they don't have a chance. And then, music for man number 3.
Yeah.
Finn Balor comes out, down to the ring, he's about to confront them, shit's about to go down out of nowhere, he hits a picture perfect, fucking Wayne Rooney last minute, Boise, to the top of Johnny Gargano's head, picture perfect, without even looking at him, just hitting, like, visions his head and just puts his foot right through it, and Gargano's down, and then the Undisputed Era hop on Ciampa, and Balor beats the shit out of Gargano. And what I love is just the crowd reaction. I love crowd reactions for shit like this, but the crowd reaction for this was literally like, what? Like, what the fuck? I don't think he's going to get booed because he's a legend. But I also, what do you think? Do you think he's got beef with Ciampa? Because I saw people saying that, like, he didn't even touch Ciampa or look at Ciampa. Even when, like, Ciampa was down, he was like, I'm only really interested in Gargano right now.
I think it's going to be one of those things where, like, Gargano kind of became Mr. NXT after Balor. You have Nakamura in there for a while as well, like, so there's not a direct transfer, but I think it's like Gargano is now who's considered Mr. NXT, like Mr. Takeover, and that was Balor's whole thing while he was in NXT, so I think that's the basis of it, but like, I don't care. Like, name a better heel turn in modern times. Like, that is, like, for me, like, that's iconic. That's like, do you remember fucking Triple H and Randy Orton, the thumbs up and thumbs down? Like,
really?
Oh, that's up there with that.
I mean, I thought it was good, but I wasn't, like,
it was just
ever.
so effectively done because you're just, like, they totally sleight of handed you. None of us were going in saying, like, Balor's going to turn heel. Do you know what I mean? And, like, even in the moment, right up until the second, usually in wrestling, you can see it coming, like, the few seconds beforehand. But even right up to the second, and because it was so quick, you didn't have time to process it, so you're just there for that, you're just there for that holy shit moment, like, that we live for in wrestling. And I just haven't felt that in a long while.
Oh. Yeah, no, he was dead, don't get me wrong, but, like, I wouldn't put it above, like, Rollins turned on the Shield or shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That was probably the last. Yeah, no, that is probably the last one. But, like, since then, stop thinking of one. Stop. Just admit it was good.
Okay, it was really good.
Yeah, no, it was an absolutely gas moment, but it can only be number one. And sometimes when it's Irish as well, I'm like, I don't know, like, would everyone feel this way if you weren't there, like, but this more than deserves its place for the main event alone, but also for a lot of it. OTT 5th anniversary. First off, the first thing I want to say was about this show in general, right? This, like, just the presentation of it all, like, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, this is just something maybe I only appreciate because I run events and stuff like that. But, like, for me, as soon as I got there, like, when you get used to working in a venue, like, you can do it instinctively. Do you know what I mean? It was the same with Fight Factory and the Big Sean. Like, by the end of it, we all knew our parts. We all knew the time. We all knew, like, how to do it. It's the exact same in Buskers. Like, if I had to run a party tomorrow night, I could run a party. If I had to run a party, if they ran down and they're like, quick, if they ran upstairs now, we're like, quick, emergency party, I could go down and make something work. Do you know what I mean? And now it feels like OTT are at that stage in the National Stadium. And with the size and the resources that they need for the National Stadium, that's fucking impressive. Like, everything's just getting better. Like, the entranceway was cooler this time around. The way, like, the lighting's cooler. The way they got the fire angels in. I know a lot of people had, like, smart comments about, oh, what was the point of that? But, like, the point of it was that someone, like Joe probably specifically, or someone involved in there, thought ahead of time. It's like there's a 5-minute gap where the fans will be bored and we'll just get something and put money and resources into filling that slot and making it a continuously entertaining show. Even little things like the ad, like the Be Cool ad before the show, where he went outside and interacted with the fans and got his petition signed. Fucking quality stuff, like, you know, just going to that extra mile. They'd already got everyone's money. They'd already sold. That didn't make them an extra penny. But just a bit of extra effort went in and it didn't go unnoticed. Fantastic job. And now OTT in the stadium just seems like, not that it's not special, but it just seems like to them it's just another night. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like there's no flubs. I know there was the bit of the thing with your video package and all, but like there's no, apart from that, like there's no real flubs. It's just like kind of, yeah, this is just another show in a good way, like, because they make it so easy. You're never worried about like, are they going to fuck it up? They're in the National Stadium. It's like, no, this belongs here. Like, this is good enough to fill out this venue, and I'll come again next month, no bother. It was a fantastic show, though, as well. Cara Noir's entrance is the first thing I want. I'd never seen this before. This was fucking like, again, I tweeted out afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, we have to watch wrestling after this. It was just an epic kind of performance in itself, like, that just draws you in. Absolutely fantastic. And like in 2019 to come up with something that new and that original and creative, and that's like, oh, I can't think of like where I've seen anything like that before. Like, it's fucking amazing. The target on Terry Thatcher's chest, absolutely spot on. Love that. Terry Thatcher is so good for those little details that he just thinks about, the extra few like bit of details that'll like add to the match. Loved it. It was fantastic. Scotty Davis's new look as well. I really liked it. Like, he's starting to like look like a star, you know what I mean? He's starting to look like the champ, even like the new ring jacket and stuff like that. Maybe he's had it before, I don't know, and I only noticed it now. But like, to me, it's like you can see he's not just like, I like, a lot of people are saying, oh, I didn't like the entrance music and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, what do you think of his entrance song?
I liked it personally. Now, not saying
I love Rise Against Man. I thought it was deadly.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like I prefer it to his old theme song, because his old theme song is a fucking banger. But like, I liked it in that now he's like, he's making enough changes that he's not the kid. You know what I mean? He's not the kid anymore. He's like starting to become the star who can carry the company. You know what I mean? And the little things like making his entrance music, because the old entrance music is like plucky young indie wrestler. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? It's like, it's that's it. That's the stage he was at. Now he's at this stage. Do you know what I mean? Now look at his gear, and he looks like a different person to a year or two ago. Do you know what I mean? I like that evolution. The ladder match I thought was fantastic. Again, a lot, like, some people are shitting on this, and I'm like, what, lads? Really? Were we watching the same match? Like, some of the shit they did was so creative, and I hadn't seen it like before. Like, even getting like getting each other in hammerlocks using the ladder and so on, like, just creative little things as well. There was genuine tension because like the ladders weren't like WWE kind of level ladders, you know what I mean? They weren't like they weren't the sturdiest and stuff like that. So the genuine tension in the match, it's like when OTT do a cage match and everyone's like, is it all going to fall down? Is it all going to, you know what I mean? But you're on your feet at all times because you're worried about it, and they were fine in the end. It was a great match. Katie, come back. You know, we spoke about it already, but
yeah, it was alright.
No, but like it was a great moment, and like we needed that, like with all the complicated feelings, and that's why I was picking you last week as well. With all the complicated feelings that came with the main event, we needed that moment where we're all together, and then like David Starr wins the belt, and it's like, it's all fucked up. You know what I mean? Like we needed that like moment of catharsis, and I thought you guys did great. It was great to see as well, like because it was just like. Oh yeah, no, like she's back, like there, look, she's grabbed. You know what I mean?
But you know what the moment of that match was?
What?
CT Flexor carrying Debbie out of that arena.
Yeah.
Like I love that, and I watched it back last night, and I was like, that's brilliant. Like I'm so glad that he did that. Like
it was a very you match, like, do you know what I mean? And I mean that in a good way, but it's like. It was very your taste. Like if you listen to Low Blows and you know what you like, it was a very Katie style match. You know what I mean? All those big moments and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, that is what I like. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, and it was like that's what it needed to be too. Do you know what I mean? And like it was great. Obviously the right result, I think. And fantastic stuff. Well done to you guys. Be cool. Be Cool is a fucking legend. That little promo that he cut beforehand with the Hogan, cheer me on like I'm Hulk Hogan before he was racist. Amazing. And then the reaction, like only in Ireland, only in Dublin can you get those kind of reactions where everyone's like, all right lads, are we going to do fucking, you know what I mean? John Cena comes back in Madison Square Garden. I think we will. Yeah! It was fucking amazing. That match was fantastic. And like, the best part was like, you know, I kind of sense that the script of that match is kind of Orange Cassidy's first match in any promotion. Do you know what I mean? Because it's it's an Orange Cassidy centric match. It's like the heel reacts to Orange Cassidy's character, but like at the same time it worked. Like, do you know what I mean? Be Cool is the one who has to make this work. You know, and I think he absolutely nailed it in his role. It was absolutely fantastic. And then let's talk about the main event.
Mad.
Oh my god. Like, I tweeted a lot of my thoughts out, like, through the Low Blows account throughout the night. But, like, just from that video package, like, I'd be up for just all of us going to the National Stadium and spending 3 hours watching a Sean Ryan video package. Like, I'd be okay with that. I'm totally up for that. You, like, if OTT, you decide to do that, like, you can have my money now. I think and I think you'll get it as well. No imports needed, no anything else. Just be like, we're going to play a Sean Ryan new 3-hour video package. Yeah, okay, fine, 50 quid, whatever you want. Just take it. Fantastic. And then just the reaction. I love that after a Sean Ryan video package where I'm like, ah! The little symbolism from the get-go of the match, like David Starr coming out to the music that Jordan Devlin came out to when he was the import killer, when he won his first championship match in the stadium, the symbolism of that, but also as well, like that music was the line that Jordan used, little intricate details they're going to. The line Jordan used in the bill in Sean Ryan's video package where he's like, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing you he didn't exist. That's an old CM Punk promo line. What theme song did CM Punk use? That theme song when he did that promo. Do you know what I mean? There's just tiny little details that it's like, and 90% of the crowd probably didn't even pick up on that. Do you know what I mean? But they're throwing them in for those little, like, the more you pay attention, the more you're rewarded. Match started at 100 miles an hour. Absolutely loved it. I loved the way, like, in the match, wrestling was like, I love the way it was a fight, but they sometimes defaulted to wrestling. Do you know what I mean? I love that feeling where they're just trying to kick the shit out of each other, but every now and then it's like, right, I'm going to do a headlock takeover because I need to win this match. They're defaulting back to their wrestling moves, but they want to fucking kill each other. Like, some of the shit they were doing in the match, like, and the timing of it was absolutely unfucking believable. Jordan Devlin fucking nipping up and then going straight into a Spanish fly. I'm like, what? Like, how is that possible? Like, they're getting into a boxing sequence. Like, do you realize how fucking difficult that is to get the pops that they were getting in that boxing sequence at that full kind of pace? The footwork, the timing, the everything. They had everything. It's lads wrestling, like, absolutely on another level.
I love the security at the
security.
Start.
Oh my god!
That visual of just the two of them on the corner posts, like, because I was watching it from the back row at the top, looking down, and it was insane.
Iconic. instantly iconic. Like, oh my fucking God. Although, there was one fucking Egypt security guard who took me a bit out of the moment, because it was just some lad, it was obviously a legitimate security guard there, who, like, he saw, like, one of the lads in the crowd, and he just starts going, Ray! I'm like, please stop, please stop. I'm trying to get into this.
I did not notice that.
Nobody else did. I was probably the only one. But I'm like, now I've seen it, and I'm like, stop. It didn't hurt the match at all. But it's just a funny note. The finish, amazing. The near falls, amazing. The way that they mixed up. Usually, like, they'll keep, like, a 1 count. Like, that's kept for, like, one important spot and stuff like that. They did it a couple of times in this match. You didn't even know if they were going to kick out at 2 in this match. Like, they kept you guessing the whole time. Then the finish was fantastic. The celebration afterwards was fantastic. I said on Twitter, and this got, I did not expect this to get backlash. I said on Twitter that, like, the point of the match was the fans turned heel. And people disagree with that. I saw someone put up online that it's like, that's doing a great disservice to David Starr's work in this match. And I'm like, no. Do you not see what I'm saying here? Okay?
You're not saying that the fans got bored and turned heel on Devlin. It was like, it was more to it than that. Like,
he's worked them into this frenzy, and turned them.
What David Starr has done here, and the political symbolism and everything that he's brought into it, is like, what we did on Saturday was David Starr made us do a Brexit. He made us do a Donald Trump. Do you know what I mean? It was the most 2019 thing ever, where, like, the story of the match was, he's still the heel. He's still the same guy. They didn't change their characters one bit. We thought Devlin was going to turn heel. No, Devlin was the exact same as he always was. And then when we're chanting "you sold out," like, I felt really uneasy. Like, did you feel uneasy at people?
I was Team Devlin the whole way, and it felt horrible.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I feel disgusted to be in this. Like I'm obviously, like, not in character, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking as in, like, everything that's happening here is real. I'm totally immersed in the storyline of it. And I'm like, Devlin he sold out the exact same amount a few months ago when we, like, fucking jumped for joy when he beat Walter. He was a contracted superstar then.
That's it, like.
He's done nothing. He's changed nothing. All right, he's a bit arrogant. Devlin was arrogant then. He was the import killer. You know what I mean? He's always been that. You know what I mean? And then, like, we know, but, like, the best part was, I go up to people afterwards and I'd say this. I'm like, you turned heel tonight. And they're like, yeah, I know, it was great. They know. This is why I compare it to, like, Brexit and Trump, because people know that they're wrong. They No, bear with me a second. They know. They see David Starr giving a low blow first. They know that that's what's happening. They know David Starr's the heel, but they're just like, it's like, this is why, and this is what I'm saying, David Starr, like, his what he's achieved is so impressive, because what he's taken is, and why the likes of Brexit gets passed, and why the likes of Trump gets passed, is like, you take a disaffected generation of people and you give them a compelling, charismatic cause to rally behind, and, like, create slogans and, like, catchy things that'll just get them to, like, buy into what you're saying, because they're just disaffected and they're just pissed off with the system and they just want to fucking protest. You know what I mean? That's what David Starr has done there. He's simulated that. He's taken that feeling with, say, anti-WWE bias, and he's, like, turned it into, like, something where people are like, for example, when Trump got elected, do you know what I mean? Like, it was the same week Trump got elected was the same week that, like, he was caught, like, telling people that he grabbed girls by the pussy. Do you know what I mean? Now, the people who voted for him a few days later knew he was wrong, but they didn't care because they were disaffected with the system. They were disaffected with the system, so they just are like, I just want change. I just want change. I don't care if he's bad. I don't care what he's done. I don't care. I'm just pissed off with the fucking system, and I'll turn on fucking everything. You know what I mean? David Starr has simulated that feeling and made it feel real to so many fans. And, like, it's the most 2019 feeling. Do you remember, like, when Stone Cold Steve Austin came along and everyone was like, in 1998, people wanted to tell their bosses to fuck themselves, and Stone Cold played that out. Like, David Starr is what wrestling fans today want to be. Just telling WWE to fuck themselves, coming up with these catchy slogans. But there's a hypocrisy and a badness to him. Like, we know he says fuck WWE, but he's tried out for WWE. You know what I mean? Jordan made this point as part of the storyline, you know? We know that there's hypocrisy there. We know he's a bad guy. People, like, I'm not saying people know they're wrong. They genuinely believe, fuck the system, fuck the WWE, but they don't care about the tactics the star uses to get them. They don't care about the hypocrisies they show. And then, like, he made 2,000 people turn heel and cheer against an Irish hero who done nothing wrong. That's a massive fucking achievement. That was a social experiment, not just a wrestling match we were a part of the other night. And it was amazing to be a part of. It was once in a lifetime feeling like being in the stadium. Or am I overrating it? Am I missing the point here? Like, I don't know. Other opinions are available. Like,
no, it's like it's one of the best matches in OTT history, in Irish wrestling history. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people have called it the best. Personally, I'd put the Devlin Walters ahead of it, but again, that's just because I was on Team Devlin, so my experience wasn't as enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like, it was proper tragic when we're just like, Jordan Devlin, everyone's just like, boo, boo, and I'm just like, it was fucking sad, man. It wasn't even a 50-50 split. I thought it was going to be 50-50. It was 95-5. It was like, man, this hurts.
It was like, I felt like it was you, Amy, Linus, I was there, and then Jimmy was beside me.
Oren was pissed at
Oren
people.
was there. There was like 20 of us.
Yeah, I'd say there was about 20.
And you can name
Engo,
them.
maybe.
Engo, yeah. There's like 20 people there and everyone else was Team Star. What team were you on? Your team?
On Team Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's he done? Like, why would I boo him? Like, what the fuck? Well, how can you? Do you know what bothers me? It's like it's so plastic. You know what I mean? Like, not you, as in like the fucking, as in like the Team Star. They're the sort of cunts that like cheer like Chelsea one season, and then when Chelsea start doing shit, they start cheering City. You know what I mean? Absolute fucking plastics. What has Devlin done differently? How can you turn against the person you were nearly crying to see beat Walter because he signed with WWE? You've already said it. He was already signed with WWE. You know what I mean? If these people were pissed at like the start of 2018 or late 2017, fair enough, they're consistent. But they're not. They were there fucking.
Also, didn't they cheer Trent Seven earlier on in the night?
Yeah. What the fuck's that about? Man, fuck these people, man. I'm so.
They know though. That's the thing. They know. You say it to them and they're like, "Yeah, I know."
No, that's not what they say. Whenever I say it to them, they're like, "No, stars in the right, stars in the right." They genuinely have been brainwashed. I'm like, no. Fuck off.
That's the thing. They've genuinely been brainwashed. They're in a storyline.
Yeah.
But they don't realise they're in a storyline.
But you not see people getting like legit, like real life angry at people for like being told to cheer for Devlin because they're like, you're trying to suck us out with the moment or whatever. But that's just like Justy's the one I'm thinking of where he was like, he was basically giving a kayfabe opinion about why he's cheering Devlin or you know what I mean, like, and they all got like proper pissed at him.
He got cancelled.
Yeah, but it's like,
and now he's a socialist.
But because it's like these people are legit, yeah. These people are like
fucking pussy.
Like they're like legit angry over this. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa.
I know. It's absolutely no. It's amazing though. Like, Katie, your own thought. You got to watch this, man?
Oh yeah. No, I made sure I got out to watch it. I watched it up the back with a lot of the crew and the wrestlers from the show.
How was the vibe there? Because that must have been a different experience to everyone else's. Because you're not in the melee. You're just watching the melee happen.
Yeah, we're like in a corner.
Yeah.
And what I love is I love watching the imports' reaction to what's going on because they do not understand how we have this show and this match and this atmosphere in Ireland. They just can't process it. They're like, how has this happened? And we were talking earlier about like, I think it was before the show started, about like, does OTT have WWE affiliation? And it doesn't. As far as I know, it doesn't have affiliation to anyone. But people want to come to OTT to work because of that atmosphere. So people who have contracts want to work there. People from AEW want to work there because they come and they see 2,500 people screaming for matches and they want to work in that atmosphere. So it's really cool to sit there and be like, yeah, this is ours. Like, this belongs to us. You can share for one
But
day.
were they Team Devlin or Team Star?
Actually mostly pro Devlin because most of us know where our bread is buttered and know that without Devlin there's no OTT. So
Exactly. Yeah, man, fuck all these so angry.
I really hope the announcement that Jordan's leaving, or like everyone's like, it feels fishy. Like it feels like it's we're gonna see him again. We have to see him again. Like fucking, I was saying beforehand, before we taped, we were talking about this, and I'm like, Keith Lee wrestled like 6 matches for OTT, and he got an emotional goodbye. If Jordan Devlin doesn't get an emotional goodbye, like that's a fucking travesty. Like he fucking built this company and built it to where it is now. So like, I don't know, we really like if that's the end of Jordan Devlin and OTT, that's fucking really sad. That's so sad for what he's done. I hope and think we will.
He's well gonna have one more match. It's gonna be deadly.
Oh man, yeah, he has to come back. But you know what I want to see now with David Starr? I want to see him continue to do this. I want to see him like play with the fact that he's turned the fans heel. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him wrestle Terry Thatcher and have the fans see if the fans turn on Terry Thatcher. I want to see if the fans will turn on Scotty Davis. I want to see him push this further and be like, I've got this mob and I'm just going to continue to manipulate you.
If you turn on Terry Thatcher, fuck yourself.
That's the thing. I called it there though. Like I think Scotty is a big match down the line. I don't know if like Scotty is the next match.
Well, he could have a match, lose and come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could. But like I think within the next year we're gonna see Terry against David Starr.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think
it already happened and it was deadly the first time.
But that's what I mean.
Imagine it now,
for I think in the stadium, I think that's going to be a stadium main event. I think Terry's ready to.
By the way, that was Terry Thatcher's stadium debut.
Yeah.
Nuts. Because he's been like a top OTT wrestler for so long that that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That didn't even register me when I was watching it. I was like, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's I can't wait. And like 5 years in, it should be getting old by now. And it's not. It feels more current than it ever has been. This is class, lads. We're getting like Joe Punk, Okada against Tanahashi. We're getting the generational indie feud, and it's fucking mad. But also, when you look at reactions like that, we deserve it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying me.
We deserve it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that like me, but you know what I mean? Ireland deserves it because look at what we're fucking giving them to work with. It's fantastic. And yeah, the crowd were a part of it and Starr, and that's just a credit to Starr and Devlin and the work they put into it. But Irish wrestling did not end, and it in fact continues to go on this weekend as Fight Factory returns for episode 11. One of our biggest and most stacked cards yet. This is going under the radar because a lot of focus was on OTT 5th anniversary and now they're sold out. Outer Space Odyssey. Guys, do not sleep on this card. This Sunday afternoon, 3:30 doors open in the Sheriff Youth Hall right beside Connolly Station. It's never been more central. Probably the most central show in Irish wrestling history. Has it generally been a more, right next door to Connolly Station? That is ridiculous. We're going to run through the card. First off, I'm going to announce a couple of matches that haven't been announced yet. The O3 against Mid-Car Mafia was announced just before we went on air, so you may have heard that. Also, we're going to have a triple threat match. We're going to have Mr. Small Package, Phil Boyd, coming back this is his first time since the episode 7.
Love Graps.
Yes, yeah. Episode 7 earlier this year.
Where he made me Elizabeth to his Macho Man, and I didn't know how to feel because I didn't have the use of my arms. I might turn heel on Phil on Sunday.
Oh, amazing. Oh, there you go, guys. There you go. We have Mr. Small Package, Phil Boyd, making his Fight Factory return. It's rare and rare, guys, so watch it, see it while you can, against Dimitri Krakovic and Jay Money as well. Those three are going to go off. That's going to be a hell of fun match. WXW star The Rotation makes his Ireland debut. Who's he going to fight? I'm going to put him against a guy who deserves a shot, who doesn't really get many of these import matches, but I think when I say it, you're all going to be like, oh yeah, he's long overdue something. That's exactly what Fight Factory does. We give these people their shot to prove themselves, and I think I don't think anyone's even going to be concerned that he's not going to pull it out of the bag. He's going to be it's going to be The Rotation against Liam Royal. Here's your shot, Liam. You've been begging for an opportunity. Here you go. It's going to be an amazing match. I cannot wait for that. Guys, we're going to do a prediction of the full card now, but also as well, okay, so it's kind of an ongoing situation. There's a lot of moving parts. There's going to be an announcement on Sunday. As of now, it's, again, there's only so much. Again, I want to kind of reveal what we can when we can, so we'll try to keep you posted as the week goes on. But we're going to be addressing something which has been going on, and you guys won't have been aware of it up until now, but it's something that needs to be addressed on Fight Factory. And I'm not lying when I'm saying that it literally changes everything. Some people will think for the better. Some people won't be happy with it. It's going to split opinion, but it's something that has to be done. I'm very very close to getting cancelled. Like
Rick's pregnant. That's essentially what
and it's yours.
what?
Wait, what? Sorry, it just felt like the dramatic thing to say. I'm trying to have a moment here. Yeah, so a big announcement. So check that out. We'll be revealing all on Sunday. The O3 against the Mid-Card Mafia. Big match for both. Both had both involved in that classic match at the three-way tag at the last Fight Factory show.
Is it all 4 members of the Mid-Card Mafia in the match?
You know what? I just kind of show up on a day and be like, what are we doing, guys?
Because I would like Big Rab to throw all 4 of them out of the ring.
Whether they're all officially in the match or not, there's a strong possibility of that happening.
Okay,
that's a very strong possibility. Who you got, Corporate King?
Oh, that's such a tough one to put me on the spot for. Yeah, the Mid-Card Mafia are fucking beasts, do you know what I mean? But Big Rab throws people around. Justin Daniels, he's going to kick their heads in, I feel. I love Mid-Card Mafia a bit, but I'm probably going to have to go with the 03.
Triple threat match. Phil Boyd, Dmitry Krakovich, and Jay Money. This is a difficult one to call. Talk to us about Phil's comeback. He's been training for this for a while, hasn't he?
Phil's really excited about wrestling.
Yeah.
Has caught the wrestling bug again, and you know, he's excited to come back and wrestle. So yeah, he's probably a good shout in this.
That's an interesting one. Dmitry Krakovich as well. Still looking for a big win. He's someone that, like, all right, there's only so long we can keep talking about potential as well. Dimitri's he backs it up in the ring, but he still has to get the W as well. Jay Money, though, as well, he's someone who's not going to, always unpredictable, someone who's like, you know, kind of a lot of the time takes advantage of his opportunities. So this is a very difficult one to call. Who are you feeling, Corporate Game?
Yeah, it is unpredictable. I think you can't really predict a Jay Money match. I'm just going to say Phil Boyd, but I don't know why. I've got no reason to really back it up. It's just any real prediction in this match is valid, you know what I mean?
Liam Royal against the rotation. This is another interesting one. You've got one of the world's best in the rotation against Liam Royal. And here's the mad thing. You'd have to consider Liam the favourite. Just on size alone, like, he's going to absolutely boss it. Like, so it's an uphill battle, but, like, the rotation is probably the more experienced one, so it's a very difficult one to call.
I've wrestled rotation, and he's very flippy. He's very hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, not like that.
What?
You made it weird.
I didn't make it weird.
You made it weird.
You made it weird. What?
Okay. I'm just gonna go Liam because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Corrugate, here you go.
Yeah, I think Liam's gonna batter him. Sorry, like I just yeah.
Moving on. Katie's dying over there. We've got 2 young guns wrestling for jockeying for position on the card. Sharkbait, Adam Farrell against Planet JB, John Bernard. A grudge match that has been building months upon months upon months. These 2 guys are finally going to settle it all at episode 11. Katie, give us some insight into, like, these guys both training very hard for this. It's something that means a lot to both of them, I think.
Yep, some insight into this match. Well, first of all, I really hope that Sharkbait has learned some basic facts about sharks in the build up to this match, because I'm not quite sure he knows what they are. And it's really not helping his strategy. I'm curious to see if his little shark friends are going to be here.
I think that's what the people are coming for.
That's what I'll be watching for, to be fair.
That'd be, if I wasn't the GM and hosting the show, I'd have bought the ticket just for that alone.
And I think John Bernard might murder the sharks if they're there, so that's interesting.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to win here. It's the most unpredictable match on the card, I think.
Oh, yeah, it is. So, Corporate Keen, who have you got as a favourite in this?
On paper, you know, John Bernard batters him, but then it's Sharkbait, so you just don't know. Can't rule him out.
Like, Sharkbait means he's bait for the shark, not that he is a shark.
Yeah.
How has he not realised this?
Oh, shit.
I think he just wants to be a shark.
Then call himself Shark.
Well, no, like that name was caught on, but like he's like repurposing it. It's like Shorty G. He's like,
Not quite the same.
You can't tell him that he's the bait for the shark if he wants to be the shark. So trying to define him, Katie.
Oh, that's a good point.
You're being prejudiced.
Yeah.
Right now, you're being
against
prejudiced.
Shark.
Yeah,
against shark baits. Against people who are bait for sharks.
Yeah, that's disgusting, Katie.
Look, if he wants to identify as a shark, that's fine with me.
Don't you assume his identification as a mammal or a
Am I cancelled?
Yes, I think so. Justy is back. Justy. He is currently scheduled to face Owen Richards. Owen Richards playing mind games here as well, so it's an interesting one. Do you think that Owen has gotten into Justy's head, though?
Probably. I'd say Justy has many tweets drafted about him.
Oh, 100%.
That he is not able to release to the public. But they're there.
He sends them all to us.
Yeah,
like you can't tweet that.
Yeah. We are the Twitter police. I don't know. Probably gonna go Owen Richards for this one. Sorry, Justy.
Okay.
He's very, very sneaky.
Owen Richards is a fucking beast, man. That lad, like, if he's not in your head, that's a bad thing. That means you're missing out. He enlightens everyone he speaks to. He enlightens me. Owen Your Destiny changed my life, and it changes everyone's life, and it's what's gonna get him the win. If you don't own your destiny, you're not going to beat Owen Richards. Simple as that.
Could we see Justy own his destiny?
He's going to have to if he wants to stand a chance against Owen Richards.
Could Justy turn over to the Owen Your Destiny side? Could he become one of his minions? Is that what happens when you lose to Owen Richards? I don't know. He doesn't win a lot. We'll see.
No, well, he's gonna win. I'm confident. I believe.
But this is a new Owen Richards. I'm joking when I say that. But this is a new Owen Richards. We haven't seen this version of Owen Richards.
This is not Nintendo.
In the ring. This isn't the Nintendo. No, I joke when I say that. But we haven't seen this version actually in the ring, in full singles competition in Fight Factory yet. So this is the first time on an episode show we're gonna see him 1-on-1. So it'd be an interesting one to see. Track his progress, because we all know, look, we joke about the Nintendo pass and stuff, but at the same time behind that is someone who has potential as deep as anyone on the roster, and now this may have unlocked it for him. So Justy, you may be in trouble this Sunday. Michael May takes on Jay Skillett again, a match that's probably worth the ticket admission alone. Michael May set to knock it out of the park again, and still somehow going under the radar. Michael May, we're always going to have him as our favourite. Are we overlooking the talents of one of Germany's finest in Jay Skillett? What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, someone put up a tweet earlier that really made me think. They were like, Michael May travelled to Germany to train with WXW, where Jay Skillett was the coach. And they were like, and then, if he's coming to train under Jay Skillett, how can he be a better wrestler? Well, he went to train under Jay Skillett, and then he took that and came back and became a coach in Fight Factory. So this isn't like a rookie fighting, the coach of WXW. This is a coach from Ireland fighting a coach from Germany. Yeah. And they both know as much as each other, and it's going to be really good. But I'm going to go with Michael. Jay
hasn't trained Michael everything. He's helped train him. He's been a contributor in his training. But Michael's also trained in 0-1. Michael's trained everywhere else, and he's wrestled he's rubbing shoulders with the likes of Jonathan Gresham now at this stage, and competing with him as an equal. So I do get what that's saying, that there's some tricks that Jay Skillett will know because he taught him those tricks. But at the same time, there's a lot to Michael May. I wouldn't overlook him here.
Hang on, if he's trained Michael May, that means Michael May went over, took knowledge that was given to him by Jay Skillett, along with knowledge that he already has. He has never trained Jay Skillett. Jay Skillett has never taken knowledge from him. So the match checks out in such a way that Michael May, for me, is the favourite. I'm going to go with Michael May.
Okay. Although, look, we are in the Michael May fan club, so we would say that. Yeah. But I think don't overlook him. Katie Harvey takes on Debbie Keitel. There's a rush for fitness though here as well. Ironically, it's not from Katie Harvey. Debbie Keitel, of course, nursing an injury. We'll hope to have an update on her. Well, hopefully she'll be able to make it. How are you feeling ahead of this? And is this an interesting one? Does this throw you off your game plan now? A few days away. You don't know what's going to happen. Because she's still not cleared for in-ring action. Hoping to be cleared by Sunday, but we don't know.
Well, if she's cleared, I just want her to know I'm going to be a bigger person, and I am not going to attack her face. the same way I know she would attack my arms. I'm not going to do it because I'm a better person.
That's a dumb game plan.
It's stupid.
That's
No,
such a dumb game plan.
Like,
Imagine
got
UFC.
a bullseye right there. Like,
No.
Imagine UFC, right? A fighter comes in with a fucked up leg, and the other fighter just doesn't go for the leg kick.
Just out of
Just
respect,
just out of respect,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to
I'm
limit yourself.
respectful.
You're going to limit
I'm
your
respectful.
game plan just to be
I'm
respectful.
respectful.
Right, well, enjoy your loss then.
I'm
It's like,
going to win. I'm going to win with respect. And
See,
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna-
dead
I'm
in the
gonna
eye.
I think like you have to be talking shite. You're the OTT women's
yeah, you see,
champion.
I'm going.
You know better than this. You're the women's champion in OTT. Like you know better.
That's
than
like
this.
I'm going with Katie because I think she's lying. I think she's talking shit.
Yeah.
You
better
think
be
I'm
ta-
just going to walk in and punch her straight in the eye?
You
What-
better. That's your
wouldn't you?
job. But that's your job. Like
That's literally like it's a massive bullseye. Like literally, it's going to be a big red bullseye on her face. Like, come on, like Jesus Christ. We have a 5-way action number 1 contendership. Again, card subject to change, but we're going this for now. It is going to be a 5-way for the number 1 contendership. LJ Cleary, who keep in mind already has a title shot as well. He has that bagged after winning the last show. We have Amy Alonzi, Sammy D, Flamboyant Fabio, and Be Cool. Cool moment for Flamboyant Fabio as well, representing Project Next Gen in this match. You know what I mean? How far he's come. He's only a year short of his debut and already in a number 1 contendership match. But you can't turn around and say that he's the favourite in this match. You know what I mean? He's in there with 4 of the most experienced and best wrestlers here. So who are you looking at as the favourite for this?
Amy Alonzi.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going for Amy because I think what Keane was saying earlier is spot on. She's really improved. She's gone really good. And yeah, I just think she's got still that little bit more potential untapped, and I think something like this will bring it out in her.
It'd be an interesting one as well. Like, it's something I'd like to see because again, you have Valkyrie, you know, the first ever women's Irish Junior Heavyweight Champion as well. Like, if you know, Amy's got to have looked at that like a year ago and been like, yeah, I fancy a bit of that. And now she's been putting the work in. She's an official member of the Fight Factory roster now. I don't know if we've made that exclusive yet. She's an official member of the roster now. She's putting the hours in. She deserves it. So yeah, she's one to watch. But then you've got the likes of Sammy and Be Cool. And LJ Cleary, of course, all former Irish Junior Heavyweight champions. So who are you picking in this?
Oh, LJ to be the new number 1 and number 2 contender. I think he's got this. I think he's on top of his game right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with LJ.
But also, like, you're talking a 5-way as well. It's a scramble match.
You just never know. You can't predict them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a very tough one to predict as well because, like, anyone could pin anyone at
But
any stage.
Look at the experience that LJ gained while he was the gender-neutral champion. Fatal 4-ways, triple threats, all these multi-man matches, and it almost always end with him throwing an opponent off another one and stealing the pin. He's a pro at that. That is his strength. So fuck it. I think he's got this. Like,
There you go, a compelling argument. And finally, the Irish Tag Team Championships on the line by popular demand. After the controversial finish to their last Fight Factory show, we're giving the people what they want, the rematch. Club Rock Shandy against More Than Hype, a rematch of one of the best Irish tag team matches in Irish wrestling history, guys. And guess what? We've raised the stakes because not only is this for the belts, but now it's fucking personal. After More Than Hype stole Club Rock Shandy's tag team titles, they stole their moment last year. They showed us a brand new side of them and shocked the world. Fuck More Than Hype was being said a lot on Twitter that night, which is not what we thought would be the way the show ended going in. But we're like, this is the question: is it like new and improved More Than Hype? Like, they know what's coming at them in Club Rock Shandy, but I don't think Club Rock Shandy know what's, you know what I mean? I don't think Club Rock Shandy know what to expect from them because this is a More Than Hype we haven't seen before.
Yeah, but I'm still going with Club Rock Shandy because they've got heart. Like, I don't know if you've seen like Klong's tweets and stuff. Like, He's very passionate. Like, he is the most serious I've seen him. And serious Klong is a scary Klong.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone's ever spoken to him outside of wrestling, you know, he's a little out there. He's very fun. He's a bit wild. Nah, not like that the last few weeks.
Yeah, Serious Klong is like Serious Klong is like a fucking championship level karate, you know, kicker, and one of the most exciting Irish wrestlers on the scene today. Let's not forget these are great wrestlers. Oh my god, this match is going to be so fucking good. I cannot wait. Who's winning for you, Keane?
I'm going More Than Hype. I think they're the smarter of the two. And I just feel like, again, they're on top of their game. I think Club Rock Shandy, I think their time will come, but I don't think that time is now. It's a tough one, though. I wouldn't like... I'm not going to write off Club Rock Shandy. I think they have a chance, but it's like a puncher's chance, do you know what I mean? Or a kicker's chance. Maybe a clown kick, a flipper's chance. I don't know, but it'll be interesting, but I'm going to go with More Than Hype.
This is like sneaky match of the year contender level. Do you know what I mean? This is how good, remember how good their last match was at episode 5. Oh my fucking God. The rematch with so much stakes on the line. Oh, this is going to absolutely blow it out of the park. And I can say this, and I just know the lads, as well, because they're young, they're confident, they believe in themselves, that they're not going to hear this and be overawed by the pressure. They're going to be like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? It's going to be that good, guys. If I do say so myself, that's an absolute fucking banger of a card. I cannot wait to see it all take place. Episode 11 this Sunday, Irish Wrestling. We are going to get everyone talking again. It's going to be amazing. Do not fucking miss it, guys. Sunday afternoon, Sheriff Utah, right beside Connolly. Tickets available on the door. Get tickets on eventbrite.ie though. You might have seen Phil Boyd this morning put out, we're going to do a reward deal for people who've gone to the first 10 shows, 10 episodes via Eventbrite. We're going to start giving out free tickets from now on as a loyalty reward as well. So guys, make sure you get your tickets beforehand on eventbrite.ie. Let us know if you're coming, and let's pack it out. It's going to be absolutely insane. I cannot wait. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for this week. Congratulations to my hosts, the new co-OTT Women's Champions. Congratulations to Cobra King, and of course, congratulations to the returning and now active again, Katie Harvey. Get well soon again. Somehow, yet you're still not fully recovered. For fuck's sake, will you just be healthy?
I'm sorry.
Guys, I've been Rick Nash, and that's the bottom line, because Lobo said so.